Breaking news, the Ghana President John Dramani Mahama is promising that if Ghana takes the African Union chair, he is going to make sure the Caribbean countries join the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Ghana's investing in Jamaica. This is actually a serious move. And not naming any names, but someone's really excited to see more Afri-Carib deals happening. So we link up. So no, Ghana's not buying land or buying out companies. This is state-level alignment. Ghana's president is pushing for the Caribbean to be included in Africa's free trade area.
We all know that recently the president of Ghana visited Jamaica and he said a lot of things that Jamaicans, in fact, the Caribbeans are supposed to be with the Africans. They are supposed to be doing things together. That if eventually Ghana wins, Africa holds the seats at the AU, that they are going to turn, the Caribbeans to Africans. Africans and Caribbeans will come together to do things together, work together, and a lot of things. I'm going to be sharing the videos here for you guys to understand what it really meant. And as you're watching, kindly share the video, like and subscribe.
Ghana's president is pushing for the Caribbean to be included in Africa's free trade area. He also says that Ghana will fast-track approval for direct flights between Accra and Montego Bay. Now, guys, it's not a done deal yet. It's what he's proposing to champion if Ghana takes over the African Union chairmanship next year. But if it happens, this could actually make it easier for businesses in Africa and the Caribbean to trade with one another, invest with one another, and move people and goods across the Atlantic without having to stop in one of the Western countries. We spend so much time talking about shared history and culture. This is about building shared economic systems, better transport, bigger markets, more investment, and more business opportunities. It will take agreements from many countries before anything changes, but conversations like this give birth to big ideas that gather momentum. If you'd like to see this happen, then share this, repost this, like, comment, and if you love my content, you know what to do. Either gift me below or become a paid subscriber. Love yous.
Breaking news, the Ghana President John Dramani Mahama is promising that if Ghana takes the African Union chair, he is going to make sure the Caribbean countries join the African Continental Free Trade Area. Mind you, Africa already have a single huge market of about 1.4 billion people, allowing African countries to trade with each other with no or less import taxes. But the President of Ghana is saying he wants to extend this market to the Caribbean countries, allowing the Caribbean countries to trade with African countries with less import taxes. If this is approved, this could create a much stronger Africa-Caribbean economic partnership. And let me tell you, Ghana president is not a president who just talk, who just make promises. He is a president who says something and then do it. Have you seen what he have done in Ghana? And let me tell you, even at the West, they are not happy with him, with what he is doing. He is not a puppet of the West. He just want to develop Africa. He just want to make Ghana great again. And he want to make changes for African Union. Right now, African Union is not in good state, and he want to change this. But the big question is, will Africa and Caribbean countries agree to this reality?
The last AU conference, the Caribbean was accepted and duly acknowledged as the 7th region of Africa. And so it allows the Caribbean to CARICOM to sit in AU meetings and to hold discussions affecting Africa and the Caribbean in AU meetings. And so I think that has been a major step forward. When I was speaking with Mr. Prime Minister, I said that one of the things that I would champion when I become AU chair next year, Ghana is assuming the chair of the African Union next year, is to expand the remit of the African Continental Free Trade Area to include the Caribbean. We've set up the African Continental Free Trade Area that allows us to export goods duty-free and tariff-free into each other's markets. That's a 1.4 billion population market, and that also is a 1.3 trillion GDP economy. And so we can plug the Caribbean in so that we can exchange goods between Africa and the Caribbean duty-free, tariff-free. And so that's one of the proposals that I'll take up.
Mahama pledges to push for Caribbean inclusion in Afcfta. President John Dramani Mahama says he will advocate for stronger economic integration between Africa and the Caribbean, including efforts to explore a pathway for Caribbean countries to participate in the African Continental Free Trade Area, Afcfta. Mahama is expected to use his leadership role within the African Union to deepen trade and investment links between the two regions. He has previously called for African and Caribbean businesses to work together and take advantage of the Afcfta's market of more than 1.3 billion people. The proposal forms part of a broader push to strengthen Africa-Caribbean relations based on shared history and cultural ties. However, the Afcfta is an agreement among African Union member states, meaning any formal participation by Caribbean countries would require a new legal and institutional framework. President Mahama says closer Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation could create new opportunities for trade, investment, and shared development.
A historic conversation is currently happening between Africa and the Caribbean region, and this could actually change how they will grow together for the future and also trade with each other for generations to come. Right now, the president of Ghana, John Mahama, is actually in Jamaica for a state visit, and he has actually announced when Ghana gets the African Union chairmanship in 2027, he will advocate as hard as he can and push for the Caribbean region joining the African Free Continental Trade Area. And this would be absolutely amazing news, because the Caribbean would get access to the market of 1.4 billion people, and also they would get more access to products from Africa coming into the Caribbean more easily, and less tariffs on their products too, and it would just benefit both of the regions in such big ways. And also it would help drive more economic growth and manufacturing and investments between both of these regions. And what I love about this, guys, in particular, is that it is showing how, if this can be done, we are breaking more and more away from those colonial ties which were left behind when the colonial powers supposedly left both of our regions. But I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section down below if you truly think that this is actually going to be able.
Roots were established by the colonial masters, and so if we needed to send something from Jamaica to Ghana, we necessarily had to transship through Europe. If we had to send something from Ghana to Jamaica, we'd have to transship through Europe. Things are changing now. The international trade routes are changing because of the issues in the Middle East and things. A lot of big carriers are coming from the Far East and going around the Cape of Good Hope and coming along the coast of Africa, and sometimes continuing towards the Caribbean and America, and sometimes to Europe. So we can take advantage of the changing global trade logistics to be able to create that direct link between us. And we need to do so because of the African Continental Free Trade Area. It was an important protocol that was signed by African countries, and it means that we can export into our markets duty tariff free. And so it is operational. We've started exchanging goods. We received a consignment of 10 containers of Kenyan tea. Would have imported Lipton tea from somewhere else, England or somewhere. But we started to get tea from Kenya, Kericho tea, and it's just as tasty as Lipton. And then we also exported mangoes to Morocco. And so it has started, and gradually trade amongst African countries are ticking up. We expect it used to be 11%. I think it's somewhere above 13% to 14% now. So it's happening gradually. And so we believe that a link between Africa and the Caribbean would allow the Caribbean to plug into the African Continental Free Trade Area. And I promised Prime Minister that I'll make it one of my missions to see how we can open the African Continental Free Trade Area to the Caribbean. And so linking Africa and CARICOM in a big, trade area will benefit all of us.
I don't know what you guys think about this particular, push that the president of Ghana is doing. According to him, he said he wants Africans and the Caribbeans to come together. We can be able to trade between ourselves, become one. Let me know what you think. This is like him pushing for the Caribbeans to be, joined together with Africans. I don't know how possible this is going to be. But I just hope it works. For me, I think all countries should be able to trade with each other, no matter what. Just like the way the Europeans are trading with Africans, and they are benefiting from Africa, same way Africans are also benefiting from them. But let me know what you kindly think about this particular video. Drop a comment, share this video, and please subscribe to the channel.